Welcome to Scrum Masters Elite_UK, where sports and leadership thinking come together. Subscribe to the channel to learn from both victories and failures.
Steve Borthwick's team entered the tournament as one of the leading contenders. A 12-match winning streak beforehand had created a powerful foundation of belief. When a collective maintains stability over a long period, we tend to assume that success will continue by sheer momentum. I, too, once thought that way. When a machine has been running smoothly for 18 months, sustaining peak performance feels almost inevitable. But elite sport, especially a competition as unforgiving as the Six Nations Championship, never allows complacency to survive for long. Defeats to Scotland and Ireland not only shattered title hopes, but also exposed the simmering issues within the England squad. 73 points conceded in just 2 matches. 53 missed tackles. 22 penalties, 1 red card, and 2 yellow cards. On the other hand, only 41 points scored despite territorial dominance and ball control.
When I look at those numbers, I no longer see mere statistics. I see the contrast between potential and efficiency. I see the gap between opportunity and outcome. And I am reminded of a familiar yet timeless lesson. Having possession does not mean controlling the game. Holding an advantage does not guarantee victory. What disappointed the head coach most, as I perceive it, was not the defeats themselves. Failure is part of sport. What troubled him was the manner of those defeats. When a team allows the opposition to build a commanding lead early on, when it is forced into a reactive chase, both tactics and psychology are stretched to their limits. And when that tension accumulates, discipline begins to crack. I have thought particularly about discipline. A team once praised for organization and stability now found itself repeating avoidable penalties and cards. There is a life lesson in that. Under mounting pressure, true character is revealed. Discipline is not merely about obeying the rules. It is about maintaining composure when things do not unfold as expected.
That is something not only the England team must learn, but I must learn as well in work and in life. Borthwick's post-match comments gave me much to reflect on. He admitted that 2 weeks earlier, many positive things had been said about the team, yet not all of them were entirely true. And now, after 2 defeats, the negative judgments also failed to fully reflect reality. The truth lies somewhere between the extremes. To me, that statement carries meaning far beyond the rugby field. In modern society, especially across social media platforms and even YouTube, we often fall into extremes, excessive praise or harsh criticism. When the team wins, it is celebrated as invincible. When it loses, every structure is questioned, every individual scrutinized. I have come to realize how vital balanced judgment is. Success should not lead us into illusion, failure should not cause us to deny the entire journey we have taken. The match against Ireland demonstrated the ruthlessness of elite sport. Within the first 30 minutes, the contest was nearly decided.
Jack Crowley's opening penalty was followed by tries from Jamison Gibson-Park, Baloucoune and Tommy O'Brien, creating a swift 22-0 gap. I could almost feel the shock the England players must have experienced. When you press deep into the opponent's half without scoring, only to concede moments later from your own turnover, the sense of helplessness is difficult to avoid. I ask myself, what happened to the team that had previously shown resilience in tight contests? Perhaps the difference lay in the intensity and quality of the opposition. Scotland and Ireland are sides that punish mistakes to the fullest extent. When you miss your chance, they do not. When you lose focus, they capitalize immediately. From this, I learned a profound lesson. At the highest level, small mistakes can carry enormous consequences. In my work and personal decisions, I sometimes assume that minor lapses will not matter much. Yet reality shows that, especially in fierce competition, it is precisely the smallest details that create the decisive margin.
Another point that struck me was how Borthwick reflected on the 18-month team-building process. He did not rush to dismiss everything that had been done, nor did he stubbornly defend every decision. He spoke of reviewing how the squad had been built and considering necessary adjustments. That is the mark of a mature leader, willing to take responsibility, willing to adapt, yet not panicking. Here lies an important lesson for all of us, the capacity for self-reflection. When facing failure, we often either blame circumstances or berate ourselves. Borthwick's approach suggests a different path: analyze objectively, confront the issues directly, define clear goals for improvement, and then act. The tournament's fallow week feels like a necessary pause. In my own life, such rest weeks, moments to step back and reflect, often prove more valuable than moments of explosive success. Without pausing to reassess, we risk repeating old mistakes. I also think about the supporters. When the team won 12 straight matches, joy spread everywhere.
When it lost 2 crucial games, disappointment was inevitable. Yet sustainable love for sport cannot depend solely on victory. It rests on companionship, standing alongside the team in triumph and at its lowest ebb. Sport, ultimately, mirrors life. There are periods when everything flows smoothly and we believe we have mastered the formula for success. Then 2 sudden shocks remind us how much remains unfinished. England have felt that, and in my own journey, so have I. What matters most is not how many points were conceded, nor how the 12-match streak faded. What matters is the response. Can they fix their slow starts? Tighten discipline? Turn disappointment into motivation? From this, I draw 3 major lessons for myself. First, never let success conceal underlying weaknesses. When everything appears to be going well, that is precisely when vigilance is most needed. Second, when failure occurs, seek the truth between extremes. Do not let praise inflate you, nor criticism destroy you. Third, improvement begins with honesty. Only by confronting the hard numbers, 73 points conceded, 53 missed tackles, 22 penalties, can meaningful change begin. A team that maintained high performance for 18 months cannot be defined by just 2 defeats. Yet those 2 defeats must not be dismissed either. Responsible support means standing by the team while maintaining clear expectations and fair judgment. There are moments of ascent, moments of stagnation, and moments of decline. What defines us is not the absence of failure, but how we rise after it. I believe that if Borthwick's team uses this period wisely to analyze, adjust, and restore discipline, they can return stronger. And even if the season's final outcome falls short of expectations, the journey will still offer profound lessons. If there is one message I would leave with viewers, it is this: see sport as a great school of life. Victory teaches confidence. Defeat teaches humility. Only when we embrace both do we truly grow.
Scrum Masters Elite_UK bids farewell. Win without illusion, lose without defeat. See you again.